Washington! How are you doing, everybody? It's Dave TV for Thursday, the 28th of April, 2011. I'm gonna cut my beard so it makes a big point. Then I'm gonna dye it purple. All right, folks. What's the big news today? We got some big news today. I wanted to do a quick little flashback for you. I found this on YouTube. Check. Oh, gosh, it's like, oh, gosh, it's always hard to get all this. How do you like that? This is my parents' old Scandinavian Light. This is from, they bought this at the Scan store. Remember when they used to have those around? This is kind of cool. I always liked this thing. It's circa early 1970s. It's kind of that 70s modern. Isn't that cool? Let's see. Where am I here? Okay. Let's get this all lined up here. If we can figure this out and check this out.
Monday afternoon, don't hang around climbing the walls. Pack a little towel, add some zap, holler yow, turn to. Take off as the Cape Crusader and Boy Wonder battle clowning criminals and dastardly villains. Surrender, you rat! Coming Monday at 4:30 on Channel 5, it's Batman. Save your afternoon. Let's just hope we're not too late.
Okay, that's 1982, back when Channel 5, back when it was owned by Metro Media, ran Batman. You know what? The Hub Channel. You get that Hub Channel. It's Discovery Kids. They remade it the Hub Channel, and I noticed if you get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays and Sundays, they're running those old Batman shows. So check them out. Somewhere, it's Comcast. It's somewhere in the 130 range where they got all the kiddie channels. Here's an interesting thing. I wanted to props to the local weather folks. We had a bunch of nasty storms come through the Washington area yesterday and early this morning, and I think they did a really good job. You always wonder, is there too much hype? And I think, yeah, they err a little bit more on the too much hype thing. But at the same time, you have to say, if there's a little swirly thing coming on the radar, it could be a tornado. It probably isn't going to be too much damage, but they really, get out of the way. And I think they were doing that well when those line of little swirly things came through southern PG County yesterday. And then I noticed just as I was going to bed last night about 11 o'clock, they had a line of those little swirly things coming up from Manassas into Wild West Fairfax County. And actually one came right over us, but, I just noticed the wind kick up for about 30 seconds, nothing big. And they weren't, luckily, none of the storms that hit the Washington area were too damaging. But there were a few little wind gusts and stuff. But, TV stations do a pretty good job. I noticed yesterday in the early evening, sounding like Rush Limbaugh. He always does that. In the 6, 7, 8 o'clock, up till prime time at 8 o'clock there, a lot of stations were sticking with the weather coverage. And I particularly like Channel 9. I really do think Channel 9 is one of the best weather coverage. Howie Bernstein there and Toppy Shutt. I think they do a pretty good job. And so there. But you can tell these guys just get completely I'm sure they get, some of these weather guys get orgasmic about bad weather. It's like, okay, I've always, one of the things I've said, WMAL needs to move to FM, or at least put their signal on FM. I'm just, I was listening around to the storm coverage yesterday.
Surgery News, which is published by the College of Surgery.
This is WMAL.
And the President-elect.
This is how I get WMAL here, okay? This is in an office environment. I'm close to a computer. This is how 6:30 comes in. Now, if I pull back away from the computer, it's a bit better. Now you flip over to WTOP.
Voluntary workouts, a team facility.
And that's WTOP on 103.5 FM. Nice and clear. You can move the radio around, put it up close to the computer, put it next to a blender or a microwave, and a nice clean signal. I'm telling you, WMAL, they need to make the move over to FM. They really, 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 really do. In fact, they should have done it 2 years ago. The other big news is Chad Dukes. Again, no one at CBS Radio is talking, but we're hearing lots of rumblings that Chad has been suspended for apparently saying some nasty things about his co-host, LeVar Arrington, on the afternoon show on WJFK 106.7 The Fan. Apparently, there's some dispute going on between them, and he wrote some nasty, some nasty things to a producer at JFK, and apparently he's been suspended for a couple days off the show. Now, we're getting conflicting things. Some people say this is real. Some people say it's just a publicity stunt. Either way, I think when you listen to the show, if you listen to LeVar and Dukes, it just feels like these two guys don't get along real well. You can always listen to radio people, and you can sense a chemistry there, and I just don't hear any chemistry between LeVar and Dukes. I just don't. Not the way Chad Dukes had with Oscar Santana. When Big O and Duke show, the old WJFK Guy Talk middays, they had chemistry. LeVar and Dukes don't. It's just, you listen, they don't. You listen to Holden Kushner and Mike Wise, they have chemistry. They do. And the Junkies have chemistry. You can tell they like each other. You can tell they respect each other. When you listen to LeVar and Dukes, ain't there. So anyhow, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't know. If it's CBS DC, they'll probably make the wrong decision, right? Oh, gosh. Here it comes. This weekend, awful. Exactly what is wrong with Capitol Hill journalism? We have the White House Correspondents Association dinner, and in the Post today, the dippy, reliable source gals have a big thing of, the celebrities that are all coming to the event. We've got Mia Sorvino and David Byrne. Anybody remember David Byrne? Jeez. Donald Trump is going to be there. The man who votes like a Democrat, who's running in the Republican. Come on, man. Donald Trump, he's a liberal on so many issues. I don't know. He's a nut job, anyhow. Amanda Ferrara, David Arquette, John Wall. Washington, Capitol Hill media shows how awful they are. This weekend, Saturday, after the royal wedding. I love Britain. I love England. I've been to London many times. I love British music, at least the stuff that was done in the 80s and 90s. So many of my favorite bands are British. The Cure, Depeche Mode, New Order. I love British stuff. I love the culture. I love the Queen. I think she's a charming gal. I want to make her. Someday I'm going to make her mine. Oh, yeah. I love all that. I love British telly. All those wonderful shows. I used to love BBC America when it showed British shows. Now that it's showing X-Files and Star Trek. But anyhow, I really find this excessive hype and spending and pompous-ass crap with the royal family. Don't like that. Do not like that. I will not be watching the royal wedding tomorrow, okay? Interesting thing in the Examiner today. The Examiner seems to always like to run full-page ads for local radio stations. I can't imagine radio stations actually pay for a full-page ad in the crappy old Examiner. They must have some kind of a trade deal. But a cool ad here for WTOP. We could call it the www. Avoid the backup near FatherHurleyBoulevard.com website. But WTOP.com is easier. Very good ad there. WTOP. Far and away the #1 station. It's amazing no other station will challenge them. Somebody else ought to start an all-news or sit it down. Come on. CBS, come on. I don't know. I'll say the same old things over and over again. What else is going on? Any other big news out there that I haven't covered today? Bob and Kendall Ehrlich. They finally did their fill-in gig today on WCBM 680 Talk Radio in Baltimore. There's a lot of rumors that Bob and Kendall, former Maryland governor, may do a permanent gig at WCBM one of these days. But still no word of that. Wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. And I wonder if they'll be back tomorrow. Anyhow, they did a show today that they did a reflection on the Maryland governor, former Baltimore mayor, William Donald Schaefer, whose funeral was yesterday, and the Baltimore TV stations all went way out to cover. David Zurwick today, the Baltimore Sun, praises WBAL Channel 11 and WJC Channel 13 for their coverage, says they were the best. And that's Davey Zurwick there on DCRTV.com. Also some Baltimore news. Channel 13 regular news reporter Suzanne Collins is leaving the CBS-owned station after 27 years in early May to become chief of staff for a Maryland state senator who she befriended many years ago. So there. Also, Dan Snyder's Redskins will be heard on Dan Snyder's Red Zebra radio stations in DC, Richmond, and Norfolk, including WTEM for the next 4 years through the 2015 season. Some of my gurus tell me that Dan Snyder really wants to get rid of that radio arm, and one of the reasons why he's make this announcement for the 4-year deal is because it, gives a substantial value to WTEM and its 3 signals, 980, 92.7, 94.3. And, who knows, he may be willing to sell them. Be interesting to see. Hubbard Broadcasting is buying WTOP. They should be taking over the station any day now, probably by the end of April, early May. Be interesting to see if Hubbard's going to be out there looking to put some other stations together with TOP. WTOP is pretty much alone. It has WFED, which gets minimal ratings, the federal news talker. Be interesting to see if they're going to want to maybe to pair it with a sports talker. That might be a good move, and I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Hubbard buying WTEM somewhere down the line, and Dan Snyder getting out of the radio business, because really, he doesn't really need to be there, does he? All right, folks, that's Dave TV for today, the 28th of April. Don't forget to stay tuned.